Okay, got a little screen recorder going. I didn't realize the video would cut off when I tried to put it in the background. But anyway, with screen recording, this may work. Never used it before, but I hope it does. Okay. Let me disconnect on this. Now with Bluetooth, don't forget you've got to have those that one plug unplugged before you can program it. Just select that. This is with Bluetooth and not with your computer. And then this, you'll have to, well, let me go back and set my motor parameters here right quick. Motor, pole pair, incorrect, 28, hit OK, and it changes. Now I need to set motor rotation direction. Is already set on 1. That's odd. Speed limit mode, no limit. Internal speed limit. Don't care about that. Go to your functions. Now this is one part that's going to be a little odd. You're reading current down at the bottom. With this bike, it is so light. 30 amp is actually too hard of a braking. I mean, remember, you've got automatic regenerative braking. For those of you that might ride on sand, you've got to think about this. You may want to reduce it to 25. 25 is still strong, but it's a little on the gentle side. Also, another plate location that might be a problem is gravel or wet roads. You definitely don't want to lose control because of automatic regeneration. And I may end up adjusting that down a little bit more later. Regen start. Now this is not how it sounds. In fact, it's just the opposite. It's regen stop. So when you let off your throttle for 1 second, automatic regeneration engages, and it does not stop until it gets to the RPM that you set it at. Auto theft, don't care about. Regen enabled, that is for brake. Wait, nope, it's not. That's for auto. And this, I want to max out. How high will it let me go? Let's giggle. 80 amp. Ooh. I can do that. Battery pack's rated at a max 80 amp anyway. But I'd rather, because of my testing, the way I do it, I'd rather rate them at 8 amp a piece versus 10. I don't like a voltage drop. That's really bad. Flux weaken. Did that change back on its own? Yeah, it sure did. Okay, it accepted that. Hit OK. Nope, went back to 50. Oh boy. Yeah, I hope this ain't. Man, oh man. Will it do 55? This ain't no better than the 45 amp. Went back to 50. Okay, regen enabled. Reading current 25. Regenerative stop at 300 RPM. You got to consider also at a lower RPM, your voltage isn't going to be quite as high as at higher RPM. So that's another reason I'm going down to 30. Oh, it's 300 RPM. I just don't want the voltage to drop down below it. E-brake current, I'm not using e-brake. Throttle. Minimum throttle voltage on this bike, from what I noticed, it's 1.05. In fact, I think I'll up that a little bit. And the wheel actually just started spinning on its own. So, I guess it's not going to like that. Okay, 1.15. That's definitely different than what the 45 amp was. I could set it at 1.05. Throttle max voltage. The best you can do on this is 5 volt, but I did 4.95 on the 45 amp. It worked out okay. Depending on your motor, the accelerate and decelerate, if your motor spins in reverse while motor rotation is in 0, then where'd it go? Then accelerate and deaccelerate are reversed. So I know for a fact this one actually spun backwards with it set at 0. And then decelerate 100. And that's 200. Throttle mid voltage is usually about 2.5, so I'm going to leave that there. Throttle mid current, I'm going to leave that alone too. Temperature, ain't worried about that. Low voltage. Hmm. 66 volts. Current limiting voltage. Actually, that is 60 volts. That's 2 volts above what is actually dead. Current limiting voltage would be 66. Overvolt, well, that's wrong. 95? More like 89. 89, 66, 60. DC current. Oh, now we're playing with power. Give me 70 amp. Boost current, 100. I'm definitely going to leave that there. Rated phase current is 100 amp. That is actually incorrect. Rated phase current is 250 amp. Let's see if it changes. Well, it did go to 150. Oh, jeez. Trying to sit on this plastic and it's gouging my leg. Rated phase current 150, max phase current 270. Now the last two you pretty much can't mess with. I tried to change them on the Sabvoton and it wouldn't let me mess with them. I guess I thought the phase current was rated at 250 amp. 200 amp? Yep, won't let me change it. Okay, so this one's locked. You can't mess with that one either. Boost current 100 amp, DC current 70. Over voltage 89, which is 88.5 for 21S. Current limiting voltage, that's actually a good thing because when the batteries get down to 66 volts, they kind of get a little on the flaky side. And this motor controller I have wants to start shutting off. So hit save. Operation done. Flux weaken enable. Flux weaken current 50 amp. I'm a bit disappointed about that. Region enabled. Region current 25. Stop region at 300 RPM. Motor rotation direction 1. That's going to be correct. For some odd reason, this thing turns backwards. Speed limit, no limit. Where is the function to select for throttle? Speed detection, motor. Mid. Mid. Low. What's internal? Low. Mid. Just in case. There was a selection for a speed switch setting. Oh, wait, that was it back there. No? Input, output. Light voltage 60, current limiting. I think I'll actually set that on 67 just for giggles. Hit save. And go back. System error. Yeah, I know the throttle thing. Disconnect. Turn the key off. Turn off the breaker. Wait 10 seconds. Turn it back on. Give the Bluetooth time to get powered up. It would help to turn on the key. System error. What? Cancel. offset angle is 245. That might be it. Motor perimeter, change that to 2450 for giggles. Given current, manual saying use at least 20 amp, but no more than 30. Run mode, change run mode to test, and then hit Hall test. And it kicked back off. Must be that. Go back to normal. Run mode, normal. Okay, stop it. Save. Where is the error? Lack voltage. Oh, air type, lack voltage. Okay, go back to throttle. .95. Hit save. Lack voltage 6. Where'd that come from? 90. See, 89 volts. Save. .89, 67 overvolt. Black. Well, I suppose I'm going to have to get my voltmeter and see what kind of battery voltage I've got going to that controller. I've got a solid red light and blinking. Air type, light voltage. Disconnect. Throttle's still not working. No. Overvolt. Change that to 90. Hit save again. Well, the good news is the key is turning it on and off. The light turned off at least. Connect. There we go. Airtight, fault-free. Slide region mode. Let's check the flux. That's under function. Flux we can enable. 50 amp. I'd really like to get more than that out of it. Okay. Guess not. Done. Go back. Hit here. Firmware update. This takes a few minutes, and you have to cycle it off and then back on. I'm just doing this because well, my major is electronics and computers, and I know firmware updates are meant to be good, but also they can turn stuff into paperweight. But this is routed straight from factory, so okay. Worked out okay on the 45 amp. Ah, it's done. Okay, had to go get me a drink. Okay, turn back. It's already not connected. Okay, turn it off. Really don't think you have to kill the breaker, but I'm going to anyway. Anybody that does get one of these, when you go to plug in the factory charger to charge the lead acid batteries, don't forget, you got to get under the seat and turn the breaker on before you can charge the batteries. Breaker on, switch on, get connected. Hello. Airtight, fault-free. Okay, now let's go in and do given current 20. I got all the other settings. 20 amp. They recommend in the manual to use no more than 30 amp, which I already said. But A baseline of 20 amp is pretty much normal. Change run mode to test mode, and then activate Hall test. This takes about 30 to 40 seconds. One thing I wish this auto detect thing would really do is pick up the number of poles on the hub motor. That would be so nice. But it don't. Yeah, it once you get it set, that's where it stays. Okay, it's done with the auto, and it come up with an offset angle of 65. That's the same thing that Sabvoton did. Once that's done, just go back to normal mode, turn off Hall test, and hit save. Operation done will show up at the bottom. Disconnect it, reset. I'm not going to bother with the breaker this time. Now the back brake on this, after it sits for a couple of days, it'll squeak. But after you start using it, well, at least on mine, but after you start using it, it stops squeaking. And the brakes on these are good. Let's just say 2 thumbs up on the brakes. Alright, turn the key back on. Reconnect. Now the 45 amp never did pick up on the motor RPM. I wish it had. So I'm kind of blind there. Oh, I got reverse direction. Oh, wow. Really? That means I gotta go to motor, put that to 0, hit save, and then go back over to function, and where was accelerate? What was it? Accelerate needs to be 200, and decelerate needs to be 100. Back to default. I haven't quite played with these just yet. Alright, 100, 200. Done. Okay. Turn the switch off. And on the original motor controller, anybody that decides to get one of these, there's like a delay in the throttle when you pull it. When you start turning, there's like a half a second, maybe almost a second delay before it starts to respond. There is a fix for that, and it's just a matter of unplugging. It's either unplug or replug hard start or soft start cable. They are marked. Alright, turn the controller back on. And I got light. Holy mackerel. Wow. And the throttle quit. Okay, let's see what happened. Light voltage again? Input, output, change over volt to G1. Save. Disconnect. Reconnect. Okay. Key off. I wonder. I might be having a problem with those lugs. Yeah, it was the lugs. Apparently. I think I may need to put either that or grind them down some more. That's about mid-range throttle. Oh, my BMS, one of my BMS lights lit up. Oh, it's picking up on the motor speed RPM. Oh, that's nice. The 45 amp didn't do that. Okay, reduce the current down some to 60 amp. Let's see how that BMS likes that. Function. I definitely don't want it shutting down when I get out on the road. Oh, 3-speed switch. Oh, that got upgraded. That's good. E-brake current 30. I'm not using e-brake. Reading 25. Save that. Motor. Speed limit, no limit. Motor direction 0. I'm actually glad to see that. Input and output. Black. 91. DC. And the thing I've noticed about these motor controllers, they'll actually read high on the voltage. So 88.9 for 21S is actually full charge. DC current, let's change that to 60. But it's not letting me have throttle response until the RPM drops way back down. 60 should be a good current. It always worked pretty good for the Voltol. boost current. Change boost current over to 70. Hopefully it don't have a problem with it. Max phase current. Max phase current is typically 3 times the DC current. So technically that would be 180, and this thing won't go over 150. Let's see if it will after the firmware update. Nope. Well, 150 then. Save. Fault free. Alright, disconnect and reset. It's a lot of work. Hook this up, hook that up, change this over to this so you can get it to work, and do this and do that. Oh Lord. Been a long endeavor. I really hope it's worth it. And the money. I was like $230 in that Voltol. It turned out to be a flop. The 45 amp, I knew it wouldn't be strong enough, but I thought it'd be a good tool for the auto learn to switch over the settings to the Voltol. Flop. Breaker on. Key on. The 45 amp definitely worked with no problem. No complaint. But I gotta tell you, if you got a passenger and you're going up a pretty steep incline, it's like the old train that could. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. We barely got over 3 miles an hour climbing a steep hill. Any errors? Fault free? That's good. Half throttle, full throttle. Why is it going in light voltage on the acceleration? That's only showing us, oh, 560. Let's see if it is 900. 830 and not a single knock, kick, sput, butt, kick, slam. Oh, 850. I wonder if that throttle voltage is not jiving too well. It's only doing it on deacceleration. Change that to 20 for kicks. Save. Get back. Actual battery voltage 88.75. Technically I was right for 89. Keep it for 90 just in case. Disconnect. Reset. And turn it back on. Reconnect. No faults. So mid throttle is about 600 RPM. Well, right close to it. Full throttle. Oh, see what it's doing. Under no load and deaccelerate, it's spiking all the way up to 90 volts. Did you guys see that? I sure did. Alright, overvolt situation, 92 volts. Yeah, better than 92. This battery's fully charged, but it's been sitting for a couple of days. Save. Get back. Disconnect. Reset. And turn it back on. $572 for mid throttle. That throttle is really sensitive. Throttle voltage is 4.65. Let's see what the voltage does on decelerate. Well, that's good. Didn't shut itself down. You're gonna have to go to 90. Oh, jeez, I'm already at 92. That auto regeneration is causing a problem when I drop the throttle. Just dump it. But I can pick back up, so I'm not going to raise that any more than that. Throttle. What was the max throttle voltage? Throttle max voltage. 4.65. Minimum voltage. Let's go to 1.5 on that. Hit save. Go back. Half throttle. Full throttle. 875, that's pretty good. Alright people, 875 is the max RPM on it. With the way I've got it set now, and the current setting actually didn't have anything to do with it. Full pair function, let's see, pulse weakening 50. Boost current 70, DC current 60. Oh, do I really want to change that? I think I'll leave that the way it is. Save everything. Okay, people. This is the end of the programming. At least you see me get all that done. I'll catch you on the next cut.